this is not based on the merits of the charges or the merits of the cases, the two cases. It's based on, and I believe, I haven't double-checked this, but I believe that the reason that the U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of Virginia has not been confirmed and is acting because of the Democrats obstructing the confirmations in the Senate, right? I mean, is Chuck Schumer, the Democrats, not allowing President Trump's nominees to be confirmed by the Senate? And then you get a crooked judge from the Bill Clinton days saying, oh, well, you didn't cross the T's and dot the I's. And that's because the Democrats are obstructing on Capitol Hill, and now the Democrats are obstructing in court.
No, Chris, that's exactly right. The Democrats are obviously destroying our democracy by holding up these nominees. But listen, it's such a stark contrast between how Tish James and James Comey are being treated versus how the Democrats and the courts treated President Trump, right? Like, I haven't seen this type of maneuvering and pullouts since MacGyver. These guys are taking paper clips and pieces of gum and potatoes and making bombs out of it. It's totally crazy, and I think it's a real indictment on our entire legal system.
Well, it honestly is, and it goes back to the crooked Democrat Chuck Schumer on the Senate side, refusing to confirm, and they did this in his first term as president too, and just hold up the confirmations and then say, oh, hasn't been confirmed by the Senate because corrupt Democrats here meet corrupt Democrats here, and then our whole country's corrupt.
Yeah, that's pretty much what the problem is. And really all roads lead to Democrats when it comes to problems in America, it seems like. But what's going on is that September 22nd, Halligan, I guess, reached her 120th day. And after that, she was supposed to have been excused from the case. But going forward, depending on how the courts rule, there are other judges out there where this could impact. I know that there are judges in L.A., Delaware, and Nevada, I think, that could be impacted by this ruling. So if she doesn't manage to make it back on the case, if they refile and she's ruled ineligible, then it puts in jeopardy these other three judges as well.
Berserkly, it's a very corrupt city we have here. At the White House this afternoon, the wonderful press secretary, Caroline Leavitt, said that this isn't the end of the efforts to bring justice to James Comey and to Tish James.
Lindsey Halligan was legally appointed, and that's the administration's position. I know there was a judge who is clearly trying to shield Letitia James and James Comey from receiving accountability, and that's why they took this unprecedented action to throw away the indictments against these two individuals. But the Department of Justice will be appealing very soon, and it is our position that Lindsey Halligan is extremely qualified for this position, but more importantly, was legally appointed to it.
Legally appointed. And Jason, you know, this is one of these what goes around comes around things. And I remember when the Democrats under Barack Obama and Harry Reid did away with the filibusters so they could speed through Barack Obama's nominees for courts around the country, judges around the country. And they were warned by Mitch McConnell, you may regret this, and sooner than you think. And sure enough, they did, with President Trump getting 3 appointments to the Supreme Court. But this is another situation where the Democrats and Chuck Schumer are obstructing the normal course of business in Washington, D.C., refusing to confirm President Trump's nominees, his appointees. And I got to say, this should come back to bite him in the rumpus.
Well, I think it's interesting because initially there was a guy named Eric Siebert who was nominated to take that position, a prosecutor, I believe, in the Eastern District of Virginia. And he refused to bring the charges because he didn't think that they had merit. And that's when, you know, they fired him and they brought in Lindsey Halligan, who has absolutely no experience prosecuting cases. I don't think, even with this, like you said, it's without prejudice. They certainly can refile these charges. I don't think it's going to work. I think Comey is going to be able to prove that this is a vindictive prosecution. And I think that when you look at the evidence of the case that I've been seeing and all the things that I've been reading against Tish James, investigators at Fannie Mae didn't find any evidence of mortgage fraud. They couldn't find where she financially benefited. So I'll be really surprised if the government is able to find something that Fannie Mae was unable to find.
It's funny that you would use the term, an appropriate term, malicious prosecution.
When
talking about Tish James and Donald Trump.
Middle name.
No sense of irony.
I said vindictive prosecution.
Vindictive prosecution, that's Letitia's middle name.
Information. Truth. is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.